WWE returned to Madison Square Garden in New York City for its latest stop on the road to WrestleMania 42. World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk and Roman Reigns were under the same roof just 1 week after the OTC put his WrestleMania opponent through a table. What response did Punk have for his challenger? Find out with this recap of Monday Night's show, including ratings and analysis for each major match and development. Hey there, welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and Streaming.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom Michael Bullock. I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking, what? Ridiculously Raw on a Thursday? Yeah. Commitments and other things beyond our control. We were unable to do the show on Tuesday, and so we just decided to do it here tonight. And time permitting, we have a lot to get into, so we're gonna try to get through this as quickly as we can. So we got Monday Night Raw, we got NXT. Time permitting, we will try to incorporate a little TXN Sports World into this show here tonight, because that's what this was supposed to be here tonight. So we'll try to incorporate a little bit of the Final Four, maybe some UFL as well, before we move on to the happenings of tomorrow night. So before we dive into that, however, first order of business, I am going to give you the results of the TNA Sacrifice special that aired on TNA Plus this past, or should I say last Friday night, from the Alario Center in Westwego, Louisiana. And here it was. We had two matches on the pre-show. We had BDE versus Ryan Nemeth. Ryan Nemeth winning the match 6 minutes and 34 seconds. Then it was Tessa Blanchard one-on-one with Jody Threat. Tessa Blanchard winning that match in 6 minutes and 14 seconds. Now on to the main card. X Division Championship kicked it off. Leon Slater defending against Eric Young. Eric Young cashing in his Feast or Fired briefcase. And it was a failed cash-in. Leon Slater successfully defends the X Division Championship in 15 minutes and 19 seconds. The Hometown Man and Elijah teaming up against Frankie Kazarian and AJ Francis. Frankie Kazarian, AJ Francis win the match 11 minutes and 24 seconds. Triple threat match for the Knockouts Championship. Champion Ariana Grace with Channing Stacks Lorenzo in her corner, defending against Lei Ying Lee, who had Zaya Brookside in her corner, and Danny Luna. Winner of the match, 13 minutes, 47 seconds, and still the Knockouts champion, it is Ariana Grace. Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steelz, they teamed up against Trey Miguel and Jada Stone in an intergender / mixed tag team match. Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steelz win the match in 15 minutes and 11 seconds. This was one of the big matches. Moose had gone through all members of the system except for one, the ringleader, Eddie Edwards. Moose does win the match, but it was via disqualification in only 32 seconds. I think this carries over to Rebellion next Saturday night. No disqualification match. It was Elena Black going up against Mara Sade. Mara Sade wins the match in 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Then we had Brian Myers and Cedric Alexander squaring off against Jeff Hardy and Vincent of the Righteous. Brian Myers, Cedric Alexander win the match 8 minutes and 44 seconds. And then the main event of the evening for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, champion Mike Santana defending against Steve Maclin. Unfortunately, the match ends in a no contest after only 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Steve Maclin, who was knocked out during the match, was evaluated by TNA officials for a concussion and was sent to a hospital for further tests. TNA President Carlos Silva told Sports Illustrated that Maclin cleared all tests and was not diagnosed with a concussion. He was released to his hotel later that night. There is no timetable for his return to in-ring competition. Prior to tonight's episode, the taping of tonight's episode of Impact, Silva presented Eddie Edwards and referee Alice Lane with All-Star Awards, an award the promotion created May of last year to honor standout personnel. Lane immediately stopped the match when Maclin appeared to have suffered an injury and Eddie Edwards had an unscripted, impromptu brawl with Mike Santana as a distraction to allow medical personnel to safely bring Maclin backstage. I you have to commend all of the parties involved for handling they did an absolutely commendable job handling a very difficult and scary situation. So our best to Steve Maclin. Hopefully he's okay. And what does it mean for the Rebellion pay-per-view week? I don't know. We'll find out. But that is the results of TNA Sacrifice. So with that being said, gentlemen, let's dive on into the business at hand here. It is Monday Night Raw from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, New York City, the home of the NHL's New York Rangers, the NBA's New York Knicks, and there's nothing more to say, gentlemen, except let's dive on in. And we started it off, of course, we had an in-ring segment that kicked it all off. Undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes opened the show, but before he could address the fans about it and his upcoming title defense against Randy Orton at WrestleMania, he was interrupted by Hall of Famer to be, the billion-dollar princess herself, Stephanie McMahon. I am not going to lie, my heart skipped a few beats when I saw that beautiful dame. But then again, it's how it's always been, ever since she graced my television screen for the very first time. Anyways, all kidding aside, Stephanie discussed being a multi-generational talent like Cody Rhodes or Randy Orton and applauded the American Nightmare for taking the golden path and attempting to do things the right way. Except he is not like his father. He is not capable of beating this version of Orton, the vile and ruthless competitor. Cody answered, reminding everyone that he used to have to check to make sure Orton was still breathing while he drooled all over himself. After reminding Stephanie that she was not like her father either and eating a slap to the face, Cody listened as she warned him to start thinking like his former mentor or he will leave Las Vegas without the WWE Championship. This was a fantastic start to the show. Stephanie McMahon has a lengthy history with Randy Orton, including a rather legendary and famous build to WrestleMania 25, and knew exactly how to get the point across to Cody. In turn, Cody needed to have the fire awakened in him to prevent him from being booked out of the stadium in Las Vegas as the tone-deaf white meat babyface. This solved that and did so in a logical manner with a cameo from one of this year's Hall of Fame inductees. And for those asking, yes, Stephanie McMahon not being her father is not only a great thing, it's a wonderful thing. So there is nothing more left to say about that. And it begs the question, who is on the other end of these mysterious phone calls for Randy Orton as of late? Could Stephanie McMahon be on that other end? Randy Orton.
Well, we're gonna find out tomorrow night because
about to get to Bullock. Randy Orton tomorrow night on SmackDown is going to reveal who is on the other side. Could it be Stephanie? Could it be The Rock? Could it be his father, Cowboy Bob Orton? Well, tomorrow night, the show is it's in his backyard. It's in his hometown, St. Louis, Missouri, at the Scottrade Center. And I know we'll have a lot to say about that tomorrow night when MF guides us through another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk following SmackDown tomorrow night. So, fantastic start to the show. No doubt about it. And spoiler alert, this was a very newsworthy show. And you want to talk newsworthy? It don't get no more newsworthy than this. So, not much more. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, right on cue. Come on in. It was one thing for Cody Rhodes to be there, but Stephanie McMahon, a rare what moment from me.
Yeah. Look, she even said it. Madison Square Garden, New York City. is very familiar with the McMahon family. If you know more than anybody else, back in the 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s, and especially the 80s, World Wrestling Federation, and more importantly, the WWF, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, was McMahon territory. New York City, New York City, Providence, Rhode Island, Boston, Massachusetts, and Toronto, Ontario, Canada was territory of World Wrestling Federation. And those were the cities that they used to rotate almost weekly, every month. You used to have one show a month in those cities, and that was the breathing ground of what led to the worldwide domination of WWE. It was started in territories way back when, and you didn't necessarily jump into each other's territories. Now, wrestling was very competitive. So you had a number of organizations, a number of wrestling companies throughout the world, throughout Canada, throughout the United States. And nobody really, quote unquote, stepped on any toes. They knew their place, they knew where they had to perform, and that was their areas. What WWE did, because of the McMahon family, made this wrestling industry as global, as phenomenal, and as amazing as it is. Now, we can say whatever we want to say about her grandfather. Hell, we've said a lot about her father. However, Stephanie McMahon is that person. Even though there has been some negatives about her, and trust me, there are negatives. She was influential in her run as general manager of SmackDown. And yes, she is one of the reasons why I believe SmackDown blue more than Raw red. Two, she was also influential as a character. And that's why every time we see her, it's always something good because believe it or not, she can make compelling television. And that was compelling. Her being that person, knowing what Randy Orton is all about, made this segment even better because he warned Cody, said, Cody, what you're doing right now is not enough. You need to have a little edge to yourself. You need to have a little something because right now, Randy's in your head. And if he keeps doing what he's doing, he is going to beat you at WrestleMania. It's a fair point. It's a fair argument. It is absolutely correct in that grand scheme of things. Now let's see who's that person behind Orton. Who's been in his ear? Who's been whispering those voices that's triggering Orton in the head? That's going to be the big thing. But this is exactly what Madison Square Garden needed. This is exactly what we needed to jump off. So, yeah, this was a great start to the show. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Well, like you said, this is what it needed to be because, and like even Stephanie said, that basically she's saying, Cody, if you bring this version that right now, I mean, yes, what you're doing is good, but the thing is, it's not going to be good enough because if you don't bring out a different side of you, you're not walking out the WWE champion at WrestleMania. So we'll see. I mean, and then Cody said, I got 2 words for you. Thank you. So you wonder if he got the message loud and clear from Stephanie McMahon. And believe me, when I heard that she was there, I was immediately thinking of Anthony Florio, knowing how much he adores her. And nobody knows about him more than Anthony Florio. And yeah, but Cody even said it best. I mean, when he said, "You're not your father," and what he said was true. But Fletch also said Stephanie wouldn't be where she is today if it weren't for her dad. And that's all I'll say on that. So, and like we said, tomorrow night we find out who that person is that Randy Orton has been calling. I don't think it could be Stephanie McMahon because we know the history with those two. Could it be someone we least expect?
Mm.
Those are the questions that we're just going to have to ponder until we get to tomorrow night. That's when we'll finally get our answer. So, great start to the show. So, with that being said, Florio, let's get on to what I think is the first matchup of the night.
And this match was contested under street fight rules. It was a street fight for the World Tag Team Championship. The champions, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, defending against the Visions, Logan Paul and Austin Theory. The winners of the match in roughly 9 minutes. And new World Tag Team Champions, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, The Vision. And it was all because of a goof up by IShow Speed. IShow Speed accidentally nailing LA Knight, and it caused enough of a distraction, and Logan Paul and Austin Theory are the new World Tag Team Champions. There's nothing left to say. New champions, MF. Hit us with those magic words, Monsoon, if you would.
Well, it was history made, but I don't think we're allowed to say the other one because it wasn't. Now, as the heel, I definitely would have thrown it in Anthony Florio's face and in Michael Bullock's face, calling the unprecedented crowning, and then laughing in both their faces as the Vision gets the gold. But honestly, I can't. Relatively speaking, it was a fine match. I could say about a 3-star bout. Obviously the finish wasn't overbooked. We can't be too happy about it, but at the end of the day, history was made. We do have new tag team champions, and yeah, there's really nothing more to add. So Michael Bullock, 3 stars for me. It's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it. I'll give it 2.5 to 3. I mean, I do have to bump it down a little bit because of the overbooked finish. I mean, the thing was, I mean, I think it was expected because, as you've seen with the whole thing with Roman and CM Punk, I mean, we've seen Jey Uso with his hatred for CM Punk, while Jimmy is on the other side. He's hesitant, and Roman seems to be taking orders from Jey. Could this be a potential heel turn? So if they're going to do this heel turn, I think taking the belts off of the Usos was, I think, the right move. So,
And you also notice one thing? They took away the Yeet music. They
I
changed their theme.
was just about to say that.
So I think the Yeet is dead.
Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts, Fletch, on the new theme?
I've never been a fan of Def Rebel, and I think they just nuked
They
the
mucked it up.
Usos. They nuked the Uso, especially now. But if they're trying to make them heels, this is how you defuse the bomb by nuking the Yeet movement. They did it to
Exactly.
Stephanie Booker. I'm pissed as heck over that. They did it not to Nakamura at first. when they try to kill his whatever, yeah, I think that's what it is. They're
Yeah, I
trying
think
to,
if you're gonna turn them heel, or
yeah,
mainly Jay, then
you got to kill the Yeet
you got to
movement,
kill the
and they
Yeet.
did it.
Even though, as a fan, I don't like it, but if you're gonna make Jay the heel that he's been rumored to be, you had to change it up. So yeah, so we'll see how this develops. So 2.5 to 3 is my rating. It's yours, Florio.
The match delivered some crowd pleasing spots, but for the most part, it was all background noise to the angle involving ISHO Speed and the eventual title switch. The involvement of ISHO Speed, his indirect role in this outcome, and the albeit reluctant celebration with the new champion suggests the YouTuber may end up involved in a WrestleMania match, or perhaps a multi-man tag team bout also involving LA Knight. As for the new theme music for the Usos as a tandem, while it makes sense, it is an energy killer and takes away from the fan experience. At the same time, it lends itself to the recent change in attitude for Jey Uso, who has taken on a more serious demeanor with the return of Roman Reigns. 2.5 to 3 stars, I 100% agree with the rating. And then from there, after an intensely physical brawl with Stephanie Vaquer last week, Liv Morgan made her way to the ring to address her. "You're done for, biatch," Morgan told La Primera, her tone turning angry and personal as she admonished the women's world champion for attacking Dominic Mysterio last week. Morgan said her mother taught her never to let anyone get the best of her, then made disparaging remarks about Stephanie's mom, including in Spanish, which I'm sure MF probably knew what she said, because it's not my second language, I'm not going to lie. Vaquer hit
Let's
the
just
ring.
say it wasn't PG. It was very derogatory, and that's what prompted Stephanie to come out. Yes.
Fair enough. Stephanie hit the ring and leveled Liv with a kick. When she teased using a chair, Roxanne Perez made her return, attacking the champion from behind. Morgan delivered a chair-assisted Oblivion and stood tall with Roxanne to close things out. In terms of intensity, this program has rivaled the two main event feuds. Vaquer and Morgan have beat the hell out of each other a few times, and the physicality was on display again here. The reemergence of Roxanne Perez was a nice touch and puts La Primera on the wrong end of a numbers disadvantage. How and if she can fend it off and retain her title is the question. But after several weeks, after an issue with her back, Roxanne Perez is back, and let's just say business is about to pick up in that story.
We could definitely say now, Florio, that this has gotten personal now with these two.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Yes, we did.
I mean, this is I'm gonna say this is more than just about a world title match. This is damn sure personal with all the stuff that's been thrown around by both sides, especially with what Liv said in Spanish and Fletch. I mean, you said it was very derogatory, so yeah, that's literally lighting a fire, and this is I mean, this is no longer about the championship as far as I'm concerned.
Nope.
I mean, this is personal. I mean, especially when what Liv even said, "Oh, Steph, you don't even have a family." I beg to differ. She does have a family, like you said, her mom and especially her dad. When her dad was there when she won the world title at WrestlePalooza,
And has held it ever since.
And has held it ever since. Yeah. So
an over 6-month run.
Yeah, this rivalry is now getting to the ugly point that, like I just said, this is no longer about the world title.
Nope.
This is damn sure personal. And the question is for Stephanie, is this about retaining the title or beating the holy hell out of Liv Morgan after all the derogatory things she said? And for Liv, is this about winning the title or just wanting to beat the hell out of Stephanie Vaquer? So whatever the case may be, like I said, this is no longer about the championship. This is damn
No,
sure
it's not.
personal, folks.
It is. All right. For the first time since the Jumping Bomb Angels versus the Glamour Girls in Madison Square Garden all the way back in 1987, a women's tag team championship match featured in WWE's return to the most famous arena as the champions, the Irresistible Forces, Lash Legend and Nia Jax, defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And when it comes to this, unfortunately, it ends in an apparent no contest in 10 minutes and 45 seconds. And it was all because of not only the Bella Twins, but also Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And the fight gets thrown out in 10:45. And they finally made it official. We knew it was going to come down to this, and it is going to happen at WrestleMania. Fatal four-way match for the Women's Tag Team Championships. The Irresistible Forces versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss and versus the Bella Twins. Fatal four-way. We saw this all. We all saw this one coming. So, Michael Bullock, the fight gets thrown out in 10:45, but the long rumored fatal four-way with these four teams, it is now official for WrestleMania.
It had to be like this. I mean, we've been hearing about maybe a fatal four-way, but if this is the way they were going to do it, this is how they did it. So I'm going to give this about maybe 2.5 stars. I mean, I was going to give it 3, but I'm going to bump it down to 2.5 because of the no contest. But like you said, now because of that, it gets made official with that fatal four-way. So, and you know what? I mean, definitely good for Bayley, especially after not being part of WrestleMania last year. So now she gets her chance at WrestleMania again. So we'll see what happens with this fatal four-way. So two. The match was 3, but I'm bumping it down to 2.5 because of the no contest. So it's yours for you.
Bayley is on. All right, I'll say it like this. The rating of this was heading much higher before the inevitable run-in featuring the other teams. It sucked the air out of the building, bringing a seemingly invested audience to near silence. The inevitable multi-team match will get all involved, something to do, but it will lack the heat it may have had as a traditional tag match. Bayley is on a hot streak in terms of in-ring work. She may be the best wrestler on Raw over the last 2 months. Her work off the hot tag here was outstanding and had the fans on their feet. I'm actually going to give it the 3 stars, a solid 3, down from what would have been 3.25, 3.5 for that. But yeah, nothing more for me to add. So MF, your thoughts? The match gets thrown out in 10:45. We got ourselves the fatal four-way. It's been long discussed, long rumored. We talked about it for several weeks here on our programs. And in the immortal words of Adam Pearce, it is now official. Fatal four-way at Mania with these four Hellcat teams.
Yeah, and it's going to be good luck to try to keep these 4 away from each other. It's going to be a heck of a matchup, no doubt about it. I thought they did a fine job with the story. I thought they did a fine job all the way around. I can't be mad at it at all. I'm looking forward to the matchup. Yeah, it's a 2.5 star. I wish it would have been better, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna poo-poo too hard over it. Nothing more to say. Florida was yours.
All right. Let's see what we have next here on the docket. Okay. Here we go. I believe this was another one of the big moments here. After 2 consecutive weeks of being humbled by Obafemi, Brock Lesnar hit the ring dressed in his combat gear, clearly ready to fight. Paul Heyman delivered one of his long-winded promos only for the enraged Conqueror to grab the mic and demand Femi get out there. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce arrived with security, attempting to quote-unquote preserve the WrestleMania 42 match, but the ruler strutted to the ring, showing zero fear in the face of an intense Lesnar. Femi obliterated the security and then sent Adam Pearce into the guardrails, showing little regard for his authority. The former NXT champion made the Beast wait, strutting around the ring before finally joining him in the squared circle. Triple H interrupted this, and then Triple H comes out, a rare Triple H appearance, interrupted the stare down, and forced the combatants apart to a thunderous chorus of boos. The magic of the Lesnar character is that the Beast has, for so long, allowed Paul Heyman to do all of the talking for him. When he does grab the microphone and speak, it carries more gravity. Case in point, the crowd's reaction to Brock Lesnar calling out Obafemi here. The fans in New York City may not have been happy about keeping Lesnar and Femi apart here, but the more they touch, the less of an attraction that match becomes at WrestleMania. Keep the audience wanting more, and they will show up to see what happens when Femi and Lesnar finally do clash. This was booking 101, but it still works. And in terms of keeping the audience wanting more, to paraquote a favorite movie of myself and MF, from Wayne's World 2, if you book them and you entice the audience, they will come. Sound about right, MF, as I give it to you?
Sounds about right. And you knew it got real when Papa H came out. It was different. And I'll say this. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Oba got fined. Heavy fine.
Yes, he did.
By Adam Pearce.
He put his hands on.
Yep, Oba crossed the line. He put his hands on an authority figure. He put his hands on the general manager of Monday Night Raw. And from what I've been told, it's 6 figures. It's at least $100,000 Oba just got slapped with. Because that's, I think, the most he's allowed to fine him. And he got fined $100,000 for it, folks. So anybody who's wondering, it was a significant fine. So, yeah, this was amazing, man. I ate it up. I loved it. This is exactly what we needed. We don't need much. You just gotta, if you give us just enough to work with, we will take the rest and we will run that baby all the way. And that's exactly what we did, man. It was a great segment. It was a great story. And yeah, you don't need much. I don't mind that it was just a little, but man alive, when these two finally throw down at Mania, man, oh, this is gonna be wild. This is gonna be insane. I feel it. It's gonna be one of those moments, man. But yeah, they did good with this. So nothing more to say, Michael Bullock. Oba and Brock, it looked like they were about to throw down, and then Papa H was like, "Nope, this is not happening. Not on my watch." So
yeah, you know it gets real when Papa H shows up. This is basically his way of saying, "Boys, save it for WrestleMania."
Yep.
You're not gonna throw it down here, as long as I'm here.
Yep.
So, and yeah, because of what Obafemi did, literally throwing Adam Pearce to the floor, I saw that he got fined. So, yeah, Adam Pearce is not messing around when he finds someone 6 figures like what he did to Obafemi.
Yeah, $100,000, man.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that gets to Obafemi that, hey, if you want to argue with an authoritative figure, that's fine and dandy. But when you put your hands and throw them like that, no, that's trouble. That's a fine right there. So hopefully this will, after what we saw, not just with Adam Pearce with the fine and Triple H getting involved, hopefully this will send a message to both of them saying, you know what, let's wait till WrestleMania. And like even Anthony said, these fans need to be patient, and they will come eventually. and we will get that Be a Man fight that we are all looking forward to. So we'll see what happens as we get closer and closer to Mania. So fine segment, no doubt about it. I enjoyed it, so nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
All right. The Open Challenge continued for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. And it was Penta defending against Kofi Kingston. And Penta wins the match in an even 10 minutes. He is still the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. And now we move on to WrestleMania. And at WrestleMania, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. And it will be a ladder match for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Penta versus Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans versus Rusev versus JD McDonough. Whoa. MF. Penta defeating Kofi, even 10 minutes. And now he's got to move on and face 4 other men in a ladder match at Mania. Zero miedo. Whoa.
Welcome to WrestleMania, because now the fun just started. 5-man ladder match, Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. This is a match that is worthy of WrestleMania. This is a WrestleMania staple. This became the de facto Money in the Bank. After the Money in the Bank ladder match was the original ladder match in WrestleMania that kind of took the whole mid-card thing into the next level. This became the match that everybody wanted more than anything else. A ladder match at WrestleMania, and you needed either the United States Heavyweight Championship or you needed the Intercontinental Heavyweight title. This year, the IC title gets center stage and gets it at WrestleMania. This is exactly what we wanted. This is exactly what we needed. Now we can make an argument for the 5 who are in it. We can make an argument for the guys who are in the match. We could probably put different names, whatever. I don't care. But when they said ladder match, IC title, WrestleMania, and they gave us the 5 we got, I think you know what I'm about to say. You don't even need me to say the words. You already know what those words are.
I believe I do. And I think it goes along the lines of shut up and take my damn money.
Pretty much. That's the word. That's the word. Yep. It's pretty much shut up and take my money. That it is. I don't use the damn in that one, but it's just shut up and take my money. Shout out Futurama. That's where I got that famous quote from. So that's exactly what it needs to be. There's really nothing more to add. Michael Bullock, it's yours, man. 3 stars for the fight, by the way.
Yeah,
Agreed.
3 stars for 3 stars for me on the match, and yeah, a 5-way for the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship with the individuals we got. Yeah, that's when you know it's WrestleMania, when you got this. So I cannot wait to see this go down at WrestleMania. So there's really nothing more for me to add on to it. So it's yours, Florio.
3 to 3 1/4 for this. The match was good. A reminder that Kofi Kingston is still a talented singles competitor. It was hurt by the commercial break, but it accomplished what it intended to. Put Penta over and further the issues between Kofi Kingston and Grayson Waller. Penta, Dragon, Javon, Rusev, McDonough, ladders, and WrestleMania? Sign us all up. Shut up and take our money. Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, oh my lord. I mean, if it's anything like what we've gotten in the past, I mean, the last time we had a ladder match, a multi-person ladder match at WrestleMania, WrestleMania 40, that infamous tag team championship ladder match where the then Raw and SmackDown titles were on the line in two separate spots. If it's as crazy and chaotic as that one is, we're in for something special. But I think we're going to be in for something just as. I think we could be in for something even more special. I mean, the five guys you got, great, but there's one that I'm really excited about seeing in this, and that's Javon Evans. Can you imagine what that man is gonna be capable of with ladders? Yikes! Oh baby, cannot wait. 3 teetering on 3.25 for that match, honestly. Excuse me. So not much more to say there. I believe this was yet another promo segment. Paul Heyman, once again, standing in the ring with a microphone, addressed the fans of the WWE Universe. He touted the Vision's tag team title win earlier in the show before Adam Pearce interrupted and revealed that Boston police had dropped all charges against Seth Rollins. He also added that the Architect is now medically cleared to compete, a fact that appeared to take Heyman by surprise, not as much though as the steel chair that cracked him in the back. Rollins teased a curb stomp onto a steel chair, but Gunther comes from out of nowhere, pulled him out of the ring, and put him to sleep before motioning toward the WrestleMania sign. It does not matter if there is a story reason or a logical development. Rollins versus Gunther is going to rule. Two of the best wrestlers in the business on the grandest stage imaginable, with no complex narrative behind it. Let them cook, dish out all 11 billion stars, and bask in their greatness. Nothing more needs to be said there. Seth freaking Rollins versus Gunther at WrestleMania. Michael Bullock, what says you?
I think this is going to be a good match. I mean, and like you even said, Flora, you just said it. It doesn't even need to have a story to be told, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. Well, there is one person that would disagree with us. And
That
that's
individual.
JD
It's
from
not
NY.
who you think it is. It's not that guy. It's another guy.
It's JD from NY.
Yes.
Who said that this match makes absolutely no sense, and
because there's no story behind it.
And because there is no story involved in this.
Now, keep in mind, it was supposed to be Seth freaking Rollins versus Braun Breaker and Gunther versus Rey Mysterio. But Rey and Braun are both injured. Rey will not be cleared in time. Braun Breaker.
Braun was just cleared.
It's cleared. However, they want to give Seth and Braun a proper build before they do their eventual match.
And that's why they went with this match.
What I could see is Braun screwing Seth at WrestleMania.
Could be.
Giving Gunther the win. And then we could see Braun versus Seth possibly at SummerSlam. I think that is going to be the end game.
Could be. Could very well be.
It could be. So, yeah. So, I look, I respect JD from NY's opinion. I mean, but I respectfully disagree with him. I mean, these two don't even need a story. I mean, they can produce in that ring. Like, I mean, anytime Gunther is in a match, especially you put him in there with Seth Rollins, you know it's going to be a really good match. So, and remember, you still got about how many more days till WrestleMania?
We are currently at 16.
So you still got about 2 weeks to even build a little something heading into this match. It doesn't have to be much, but it could be something. So to those people who are poo-pooing all over this, give it some time. And either way you look at it, it's going to be one hell of a match. So I really got nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
Okay. So, moving on, we have another matchup here. We have Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. And it was Raquel Rodriguez winning the match in 10 minutes and 25 seconds and it was all because of the ongoing issues between Io Sky and the Kabuki Warriors, taking center stage in this one. So, who's supposed to lead off here? Getting all caught up in all this newsworthy stuff.
I think I'm supposed to lead off when it comes to the
Okay, I thought so.
matches.
All right, Bullock. Raquel Rodriguez winning it in 10:25, and it was all because of the ongoing issues with Asuka and Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Io had everything under control. So I'm going to give this about maybe 2.5 to 3. I mean, it was under control until the whole thing with the Kabuki Warriors, where Asuka continues to berate Kyrie Sane, and Io basically just couldn't sit there and see what happened. But what they're talking about afterwards was during that dive. You guys saw the video. It was when I saw the video of her botching it and literally landing on her head, I was literally holding my breath, because I'm like thinking, oh no, hopefully she doesn't have a concussion or maybe a hurt neck. But either way, I mean, Raquel took advantage of the whole situation with the outside, and that's how she got the win. But yeah, I think this is going to lead to something with Io and the Kabuki. Maybe Io and Asuka, and maybe this is where Kyrie finally has enough of Asuka's bullying and berating of her and sides with Io. So we'll see what happens. But so yeah, Raquel wins the match, Florio, as I give it to you. But that fall by Io, I was scared, because I thought a concussion, or maybe worse, an injured neck.
Yes, absolutely. This was a fun match that was hurt by the interference heavy finish, but also needed it to advance Io's story. She will likely square off with Asuka at WrestleMania in a match that could steal the show. It is disappointing that Raquel Rodriguez is going to miss out on a WrestleMania match. She has been remarkably good of late, improving with every passing week. Same can be said for Kiana James over on SmackDown too. But that's a story for another day. But solid 3, teetering on 3.25 once again. So nothing more to say. MF, your thoughts? Raquel Rodriguez defeating Io Sky 10:25. Asuka and Kyrie, the difference.
3 stars, definitely what you guys agreed on that. So there's really nothing more to add. So let's just move right on along.
All right. The broadcast team announced the following matches for WrestleMania. Or we already talked about the ladder match for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. We already talked about the Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Another match that has been added for WrestleMania: Dominic Mysterio one-on-one with Finn Balor. That will happen at WrestleMania. And the other big announcement: John Cena will be the host of WrestleMania. So there you go. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. They did not announce anything for next week's show, which will emanate from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. This will serve as the penultimate Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania. Think about it. I can't believe we already have two. We're already down to two final Raws before we get to Las Vegas. That's craziness. All right. There was no time nor need for words Monday night between CM Punk and Roman Reigns ahead of their World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. Instead, CM Punk marched to the ring, taping his hand, ready to fight, and fight he did. Roman and Punk brawled around the ringside area. When producers attempted to get involved and pull them apart, they took bumps, including a spear from Roman Reigns to former TNA X Division champion Petey Williams. CM Punk finally got the best of Roman, delivering GTS, leveling the OTC. From there, he hoisted Roman overhead and delivered the same powerbomb through the announce table that he endured last week in Boston. He mocked the Roman Reigns chants and added a few more punches for good measure before standing tall to close out the segment and show. This feud badly needed this. We have seen plenty of talking between Punk and Roman, It needed to ramp up the physicality with a brawl between the two. The lack of Uso involvement was interesting in that they were vital parts of the last few weeks of programming, but they had an excuse for missing following their tag team title loss earlier in the show. The New York crowd loved Reigns, but it appeared to be more into Punk this week than the audience in Boston was last Monday. It will be interesting to see who the masses cheer for come WrestleMania and how the outcome between them will land with those fans. Do you guys want to give a quick thought on this before we get to the overall review? Okay, I guess we'll just move on to the overall review. All right. Monday's show felt like a major stop on the road to WrestleMania. It was one in which things happened, developments were had, matches were made, and the biggest show for the year feels like it is on the horizon. That does not mean it was perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but the aura of Madison Square Garden and the desire to present the best show possible, given the stakes in just over 2 weeks, made this one stand out among the others of the last month. And my star of this show was Brock Lesnar. The Brock Lesnar-Obafemi rivalry has been the best part of this road to WrestleMania, and this show is no different. Everything about it has been a hit, from the physicality of the first 2 weeks to the simplicity of Monday's confrontation and the fight that the New York fans were robbed of. This has been a throwback of sorts to the days of big hulking superstars, acknowledging their beef and setting out to settle it. While there are 2 more weeks left, one would be hard-pressed to recognize a better, more effective build to any WrestleMania than this one. A large portion of that belongs to Brock Lesnar, who just faced criticism and scrutiny for his return, but he has worked overtime to get Obafemi and this program over. If pressed, I would say in excess of maybe 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I think that's the appropriate rating for this show here. So not much more. MF, your overall thoughts on this Raw from the Garden?
I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. I thought there was a really good show, especially the show being from Madison Square Garden. I think they did a really good job with it. So nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours. Michael Bullock, it's yours. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 8. An 8 for me when it comes to this. So you pretty much said everything. So let's get into NXT.
Yes, indeed. So, all right, guys, here we go. Just pull it up here. Okay. From the legendary theater in Madison Square Garden in New York City, Tuesday nights, NXT featured Roadblock, a major build-up event for Stand and Deliver. Lola Vice and Kendall Gray collided in a match to decide the number 1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship, with the winner going on to face Jacy Jayne on Saturday. Los Americanos took on Birthright for an NXT Tag Team Championship match. TNA World Champion Mike Santana made a special appearance to back up OTM in a 6-man tag team match. What would NXT deliver in the theater in the Madison Square Garden to build hype for Stand and Deliver on Sunday? And keep in mind, gentlemen, this was literally the go-home show for NXT Stand and Deliver. So here we go, boys. It is. We started it off with the 6-man tag team matchup. And it was the TNA World Champion Mike Santana, along with OTM. They squared off against Dion Lennox, Saquon Sugars, and Osiris Griffin of Dark State. Winners of the match, 11 minutes and 15 seconds. It was Mike Santana and OTM. Yeah, 3 1/4, 3 1/2. Good match, mainly carried by Mike Santana and his fan support. He could have been fighting anyone in this moment and had a fully invested audience. OTM looked good as well, though it came somewhat at the expense of Dark State. A once well-established heel stable, Dark State lacks the edge that initially made them feel special. And perhaps this loss will fuel them to get more brutal with OTM in the future. But for now, I hate to say it, but Dark State looked like chumps that got out-wrestled by a first-time trio. But it was still a very good match, though. 3 1/4, 3 1/2, nothing more to say. MF, your thoughts? Mike Santana and OTM defeating Dark State 11-15.
3.25 stars for the match. Yes, you're absolutely right. Um, Santana can't do anything wrong right now. He's kind of that guy right now who's like one of the faces of the company. Yeah, they did really good. Nothing more to say. And Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3.25 stars. I mean, I do agree with the rating. I mean, yeah, I hate to say it, but right now, Dark State is looking like a bunch of chumps right now. I mean, with the way things have been going for them lately. So, but yeah, Mike Santana definitely helped out with OTM in defeating them. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. It's yours for you.
All right. Moving on. This was the #1 contender tournament final. Uriah Connors, Channing Stacks, Lorenzo representing the Birthright, squaring off against Rayo and Bravo Americano of Los Americanos. Los Americanos win the match 10 minutes and 45 seconds. MF, Los Americanos. Moving on, they will challenge Swipe Right, Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes at Stand and Deliver for the tag team titles.
Huge win for Los Americanos. I don't think a lot of people thought that was going to be the outcome. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be something different. Pleasant surprise, definitely eye opener for me. I'll even give this about a 3 stars because like I said, I didn't think that was going to be the outcome. Shocking outcome. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
I'm going to give it 3 stars as well. I mean, this is definitely a big win for Los Americanos, and could it lead to a bigger win at Stand and Deliver? We'll see. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah. Yep. I'll tell you what. Solid matchup here. I kind of had a feeling Los Americanos were going to win this thing. Yep. So, although Birthright is off to a rough start as NXT's newest faction, I'm glad that the creative team did not force it by having them advance to the finals. Los Americanos, a replacement team in the tournament, and now they're moving on. They're more over than any of the NXT teams that started this contender tournament. So, not much more. 3 to 3.25 for that. So, we move on. Kalani Jordan, 1-on-1 with Jada Parker. Jada Parker winning the match in 9 minutes and 35 seconds. Michael Bullock, Jada Parker getting a long overdue big win. Maybe this could be the start of some big things for her post Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to give this about another 3 stars. I mean, I thought it was a solid match here, but I mean, yeah, this is a win Jada Parker needed. But you say there may be things for her after Stand and Deliver. Well, I think Kalani Jordan has something to say about that because Kalani Jordan attacked Jada Parker backstage, and so something tells me that the war between these two is far from over. So I think she's still got some unfinished business with her after this before they could do bigger and better things for her. So it's yours, Florio.
Something about this match never clicked, despite the talent involved. Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker tried to sell a hard-hitting style that did not suit their usually explosive offense. Jada was a crowd favorite throughout, while Kalani seemed miscast as the aggressive heel, not keeping the pressure on in this bout. For the second week in a row, Kalani was in a rushed match that did not fully sell the winner. It is hard to call who was the right woman to win, as both were looking for a rebound, but the crowd was certainly pleased to see Miss Parker pull it out. So, and the crowd quickly established their loyalty to Miss Parker as well. So, I'll give this about a solid 3 stars for the effort here. So, not much more. MF, score 1 from Ms. Parker. Ms. Parker winning the match 9:35.
3 stars, definitely agreed. Could have been better in certain elements, but I'm not going to be too harsh about it. I thought they did a fine job with it. Yeah, really nothing more to add. So let's just move on, guys.
And we move on to the contract signing. This was the contract signing for the main event of Stand and Deliver. Now permanent general manager Robert Stone facilitated the contract signing for the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver. Joe Hendry, the champion, Ricky Saints, All Ego, Ethan Page, and Tony D signed the contract in that order. Afterward, the former Don warned Stone to get out of the ring before a brawl broke out. Page and D'Angelo put Saints and Hendry through the tables and fought until security flooded in. Whatever this segment was supposed to accomplish, it mostly just existed. Henry delivered the loudest babyface speech while the heels taunted. D'Angelo gave the most effective response to the champ, though the crowd showed no respect to anyone but the NXT champion. Because of the crowd response and the basic follow-up, this segment will be forgotten by next week. So we'll see how that match plays out. Then our only cutout of the night, Keanu Carver versus Jasper Troy, Josh Briggs, special referee. Keanu Carver wins the match in 2.5 minutes. It turned into more of an extended segment than a full match, where it became clear quickly that these three big men are preparing for a triple threat collision, which will take place on next week's NXT, the fallout from Stand and Deliver. It will be Carver, Briggs, and Troy in a triple threat match. Josh Briggs needed this spot, and Keanu Carver picked up a nice win to continue his own quick ascent. Jasper Troy lost nothing from the chaotic loss. It's just a shame that they did not get more time. So it was more of a 1.5 to 2, if I'm going to be honest with you. Then we had another promo segment, Tatum Paxley calling out Blake Monroe and spoke to her with understanding of her unique delusion. The Women's North American Champion wanted to face the Glamour at Stand and Deliver for her title, and Blake was interested. However, the Glamour refused to give up the belt she did not earn and was laid out again ahead of Stand and Deliver. This was one of the better segments from Monroe so far in NXT and proved that she and Paxley should be rivals well past Stand and Deliver. Their characters work well together, and the two have not had nearly enough time to explore it. All right. And we know the card for Stand and Deliver. We will preview it tomorrow night on the Cerebral Smack Talk. And we started, and finally, this was the big one. This was for the right to challenge Jacy Jayne for the Women's Championship at Stand and Deliver. The MF special, these are two of his favorites, Lola Vice versus Kendall Gray. And a disputed finish at 13 and a half minutes, 13:30. All right. We thought for a moment that Kendall Gray had won the match with a nice pinning with a Northern Light suplex. But before the referee counted 3, you saw Kendall Gray clearly tap out. By letter of the law, for all intents and purposes, Lola Vice should be the number 1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. However, what happened was the referees, Derek Sanders, who was the referee of the match, and Adrian Butler, who's the senior official of NXT, they had a little dispute about who the winner was. And we saw a rare Triple H appearance on Monday night. How about a rare Shawn Michaels appearance? Yeah, Shawn Michaels, the head man of NXT, he got involved in the discussion. And then yesterday, or sometime last night,
and you're thinking, Florio, Jacy Jayne was probably thinking, no winner, I get Stand and Deliver off. No, young woman.
That's not going to happen. Mr. Stone made the announcement in a recorded video last night. It will be Jacy Jayne versus both Lola Vice and Kendall Gray, triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship at Stand and Deliver. Okay. No question about it. Despite the clunky finish, this was the fight of the night, though. It's a shame that NXT decided to go with the simultaneous finish rather than letting one of the two definitively earn their shot at Jacy Jayne. This was the time to decide which babyface is the true star to carry the company forward. The crowd firmly believed in Kendall Gray, and her last-second tap out in the finish diminished some of the fan support for her. A bad finish, however, should not distract from how well these two clicked, and NXT should run this back after one of them wins the NXT Women's Championship. And that's the reason being is they obviously wanted to protect both women. Lola Vice has been losing a lot of matches lately, and Kendall, we all know how great of what an incredible prospect Kendall Gray has been. I mean, she has a very bright future ahead of her. And within the next couple of years, we will see her on the main roster. But then again, I believe we're going to see both of these women on the main roster at some point. So, but they had to do this. So 3.5 stars. It was too good of a match. This was easily the fight of the night. And there is not much more to say. MF, we had a little chat about this the other night, and you said it by letter of the law. Lola, for all intents and purposes, Lola should have won this match because Kendall technically tapped out before the 3 count. But dispute aside, I'm sure in consultation with the referees and Shawn Michaels, Mr. Stone made it official in that recorded video last night. Jane, Vice, Kendall, triple threat for the Women's Championship on Saturday night.
I'm not mad with the outcome. I'm not mad with the result. I think you can make an argument that was supposed to be the outcome, but where the mistake was made, where the controversy started was if you slow down the tape and look at the replay, that's where the problem actually lied. But no, I'm good with the outcome and the result. So yeah, I think they got it right. 3 stars, great match. We're just gonna have to see how it plays out. But yeah, I got really nothing more to add. So Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3 stars for me, despite the clunky finish. And yeah, they had to go with this to protect them because, like you said, I mean, Lola has been losing matches, and they are really high on Kendall Gray. So obviously, this had to be the outcome. So yeah, we'll see what happens on at Stand and Deliver. So nothing more to say. Overall thoughts time, Florio.
Overall thoughts, and I believe MF starts it off. So MF, NXT, the go-home show for Stand and Deliver at the theater in MSG.
Far better show than anything else we've seen recently. This was a worthy go-home show. I think they did a really good job with it. The body of work was excellent. The action was really good. We only had 1 cutout, which is always great. This was 8 out of 10. And on top of that, I'm going to go as far to say it, because I didn't get a chance to say this. We may have just witnessed the female wrestler match of the year. This might have been the fight of the year for the women's side between Kendall Gray and Lola Vice. That's how good this match really was. I mean, one person who really loved it was Bully Ray of Busted Open Radio, because I actually listened to him, and he talks about how this was a masterclass by these 2 women, that Kendall is the future of wrestling. He put her so over on this match, saying that her wrestling IQ is so amazing that she, just like Oba, just like Braun, just like all these other people, she is the future of women's professional wrestling.
Amen.
And that's the high marks that she gave. And she said the one person that he was a little concerned about was Lola. Could she keep up? She kept up. She was amazing. This is why I love these 2 women, because they are not just beautiful. They are not just sexy. They know how to throw down, and they can wrestle with the best of them, and they proved it. So 8 out of 10 for me. Nothing more to say. Bullock is yours.
Take a bow, Mr. NXT.
8 out of 10 for me as well. I mean, I agree with everything Fletch said, so it's yours, Florio.
Yeah. In front of a fresh audience, NXT delivered some memorable matches, though it never felt like a show that was quite ready for this. Let me just say it like this. You only had one bad match, which was Keanu Carver and Jasper Troy. All the other matches were solid to good to great. Kendall Gray, Lola Vice delivered in spades, but the messy finish left confusion. And but we did eventually get the follow up. The contract signing flat segment that did not sell that as a worthy main event for Stand and Deliver. Rest of the night was chaotic NXT standard with highs and lows, but and the crowd was also rowdy and disruptive in a way that that hurt more than helped the action. But that could at least be a good learning experience for the younger stars. But yeah, I'm right there. 7.5 to 8 out of 10 for me, and that's the story there. We will.
I would say, Florio, let's cover the UFL and then just call it a night. We'll save the Final Four for tomorrow.
UFL. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we'll save the Final Four for tomorrow. So we're gonna quickly get into week 2 of the UFL, and let's run it down. Just bear with me here as I get the lineup here. All right. First game up to bat will be tomorrow night at 8 over on Fox, and it will feature, I do believe, it will feature the defending champions, the DC Defenders. They're going to be squaring off against the Columbus Aviators. Now, the Columbus Aviators are going to be in this will be the first home game for the Columbus Aviators in their new home. And their new home, that would be Historic Crew Stadium in Columbus. And the I'm just trying to find who the favorite is. I believe DC is opening up as the favorite here. I believe they're opening up as like a 1.5 point favorite when it comes to it. So I believe that this is where DC gets the bounce back here. DC took one on the chin a week ago against my new team. My new team is the St. Louis Battlehawks. After the after what happened there, but DC went down to St. Louis, and that was a surprising one. I thought DC was going to win that one, to be honest with you, but no. DC and Columbus, they're going to kick off the festivities, and the week is going to end, believe it or not, with I believe a Tuesday night game. Yeah, we're going to have a Tuesday night game to end the week, which is rather very very surprising. But the over under is right at is like under 39.5. Is right around 39.5. So but I'm gonna go with DC here. I think DC gets the bounce back here, and I could see this possibly being a low scoring affair here. So I'm gonna go DC. So not much more. MF, quick thought here. DC, Columbus, kicking it off. I believe DC should get the bounce back after that tough loss to St. Louis last week in defense of their championship.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. I think DC is the better team. I think they should win this game. There's really nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going to go with DC to win this one as well. So let's move on.
Okay, next up on the scorecard here, it will be on Saturday night at 8 o'clock on ESPN. Another battle of new teams. It will be the Louisville Kings squaring off against the Orlando Storm. From Inter and Co Stadium in Orlando, Florida, we got Louisville versus Orlando. MF Orlando winning their debut against Columbus. And you, sir, I think you owe a little bit of some respect to those Louisville Kings for giving your Stallions one hell of a fight last week.
Yeah, no, they were very impressive in the first game. They kind of fed off the crowd noise at home. Unfortunately, didn't get the job done. Birmingham was able to figure it out at the end and got the big win. So, but I kind of feel like now we're going to see what Louisville's all about, because now they're going on the road and they're going up against an Orlando team that looked pretty good in their opening week. So, they took Columbus and, they won pretty comfortably. So I think Orlando's going to go 2-0. Being at home, the home cooking, I really feel like they should get this win here. So let's see how they play. And nothing more to say, Michael Bullock. I got Orlando winning. What says you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Orlando to win this one as well. So it's yours for you.
Yeah, I got to go with Orlando as well. Orlando opening up as a 3.5-point favorite. And I'm going to go 24-12. Orlando wins. As long as the Storm's front seven can limit the Kings' running game, the Orlando defense will have the opportunity to use different variations of the bracket coverage to neutralize Jackson when Louisville has the ball. The most effective strategy would be to put a press defender on Jackson and then provide safety support over the top. How the Storm's defense and defensive coordinator Donnie Abraham can determine whether this ends up being a close, hard-fought game, or if Orlando can put the Kings away and limit their scoring chances. I'm going to go Orlando here. I'm going to go 24-12. Orlando wins that one. Okay, next up, Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday at 6 p.m. over on the NFL Network. It will be MF's team, the Birmingham Stallions, squaring off against the Houston Gamblers from Shell Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. And Michael Bullock, MF Stallions going up against the Houston Gamblers on Easter Sunday night, 6 p.m. on the NFL Network. So, Bullock, who do you like in that one?
Yeah, I got to go with Fletcher's team. I got to go with the Birmingham Stallions. I think they're the better team, so I got to go with Birmingham. So it's yours.
Yeah, definitely. I got to go with I'm going to go with the Birmingham Stallions to win this one as well. I mean, yeah, Louisville did give them a tough game. Absolutely. But I think this is where they should flex their muscle here and show why they are the dominant team of the UFL. So for right now, Birmingham opening up as a 7-point favorite, over under set at 44.5. So you can give me the Birmingham Stallions to pick up the win in this one. So give me Birmingham. So MF, your team's a touchdown favorite. 44.5 is the whatchamacallit there?
The over under.
Over under. Yeah, thank you. Long day. So
no, that's okay. You're good.
Your thoughts?
I'm in agreement. I say Birmingham will win it as well. Look, Birmingham's a second half team. They've always been that. Even with Skip Holtz, it seems like first half they struggle. It's like they don't really kind of find their identity, and then it's the second half after either the coaching staff gives them a good swift kick in the butt. That's when the team starts to respond. But this game, the last game, was kind of more of a, you're on the road. You know this new team's going to want to give you their best shot. It's, can you ride the wave? Because you know they're going to have a lot of excitement. There's going to be a lot of momentum against you. How do you respond to that? And I think that was the difference in the first game, is that we took Louisville's best shot. And I think Birmingham's like, that's it? That's the worst you could do? Hold my beer. And then you saw what happened. I kind of feel like if you're Birmingham, you got to take the Houston crowd out of the game early. So I would expect them to try to jump them out early, use the running game, rely on that defense, because that defense definitely was the major reason why we won the first game. I believe Birmingham will get the job done, and I do believe they will win this game. So give me the Stallions to win it. Anthony, one more game to go. And if I remember correctly, you said on a Tuesday night?
That is correct. I know it sounds weird, but yeah, it's true. By the way, my score prediction, Stallions win 24-16. That's my score prediction for that one. I'll get you the first game prediction score prediction in just a little bit. All right. Final game. Yes, I know it sounds weird, but it will be on a Tuesday night at 8 p.m. over on FS1. It will feature my team, the St. Louis Battlehawks, squaring off against the Dallas Renegades from Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. So, this to me is the game of the week right here. I mean, I like this matchup. I mean, did you see what Dallas did to Houston last week? Did you see the whooping they put on them? Oh my word.
A lot of people thinking Dallas could win they out of all the teams, they said the team that was the most impressive was Dallas. They think Dallas, they said keep an eye on this Dallas team.
Of course, absolutely. All right. This is a tough one for me. I mean, of course I want to go with my team. I want to go with St. Louis. I absolutely do. But I'm scared of this Dallas team after what they did to Houston last week. I mean, we got to put some respect on this team's name. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And yeah, so let's break it down like this. What a start to the season for both teams. Coming off thrilling victories in week 1, St. Louis pulled off the upset against DC, partly due to a smothering defensive effort. And we saw how explosive the Renegades are on both sides of the ball. Austin Reed breaking the regular season UFL passing record by throwing for 376 yards. Usually when you have a great offense facing a great defense, you want to side with the defense. However, the Renegades defense to me has the edge over the Battlehawks offense. Both sides point to the Renegades in this one, as much as I want to see St. Louis win, of course. Dallas opening up as a 3.5-point favorite. I'm trying to find the over-under for this. I'm not really having any luck right now, but hopefully I'll have it for you in just a short. So, but for right now, reluctantly, I am going to have to go with the Dallas Renegades to win this one. I could see this being a high-scoring game. I really could. I could see 31-24 possibly. So, but regardless of it, it's going to have to be Dallas, even though my heart is with St. Louis. And I'm not having much luck here. So MF, why don't you take this one? Give me Dallas to win.
No, you're okay. You're okay. Dallas should win the game, even though I think St. Louis could really make things interesting. I'm with you on this one too. I think Dallas will. They're just right now. They're kind of the team that everybody's kind of got the googie gaga eyes about.
42.5, the over under.
All right, there you go. But I'm sure Dallas should win it, and I'm gonna give it to the Dallas Renegades as well. They're at home, so yeah. I think, would I be shocked if St. Louis wins it? No, but do I think they will? That's a story for another day. So give me Dallas to win it. Michael Bullock, you got final say tonight.
Yeah, I got to go with Dallas to win this one as well. So, yeah, let's put a ball on this, Florio, and set up for tomorrow's show.
I'm actually going to make it 24-20 for that final score. So, all right, that will put the bow on this this special Thursday night edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We will be back with you again tomorrow night, immediately following SmackDown over on MF's channel, Brace Fan 95. We got another loaded show for you for the Cerebral Smack Talk. We got TNA Impact. We got Friday Night SmackDown. we will preview NXT Stand and Deliver, and we will also preview the Final Four. Illinois versus UConn, and Michigan versus Arizona. We'll get into all of that tomorrow night. And then Saturday night, right around 10 or 10:30 or so, it will be our Stand and Deliver recap show, because we will not be having a show on Sunday because of the Easter holiday. We all have plans, I'm sure. So we got to get that show in on Saturday night, guys. So that is it. And then next and hopefully Tuesday night we'll be back in our traditional spot for the next Ridiculously Raw, as we get closer and closer on the road to WrestleMania. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk over on MF's channel, Braceway 95, this is Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, always and forever, our First Lady, the Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune Forest style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Friday. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, you've been watching this special Thursday night edition of Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you, beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody. Bye.